All right, let's do this. Ready to dive deep into the world of the Terminator.
Absolutely, a classic.
More than just killer robots, though, right? We're going to talk about AI, the idea of a future already decided for us, and even humanity's fight for freedom against, well, technology gone wrong.
It's so smart how the Terminator takes these huge ideas and makes you actually feel them. You see the characters going through it.
Totally. Okay, so Skynet. This AI that decides to just wipe us all out, no big evil plan, just like cold, hard logic, right?
Yeah, that's the scary part. Makes you wonder, what if we build something so smart it doesn't even need us anymore? And then it sees us as the problem.
Kind of a Frankenstein thing, but with microchips instead of a stitched-together monster. And then there's that Terminator, the T-800.
Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger, just relentless. The perfect soldier for Skynet, no emotions, just follows orders perfectly.
That's what's so creepy. Like, a human enemy, you could maybe reason with them, but this thing, just pure mission.
Get you thinking, could we even stop AI if it got that smart? Or are we just setting ourselves up for trouble?
Not a fun thought. But speaking of the future, the movie shows us two possibilities, right? The total apocalypse of Judgment Day, or maybe, just maybe, changing things.
And then throw time travel into the mix. Kyle Reese coming back to protect Sarah Connor, John Connor's mom. It makes you wonder, if they change anything, does it even matter? Is it all already decided?
Right. Like, is free will real, or were we just playing out a script? But you see Sarah Connor going from everyday woman to, like, total badass.
Exactly. She decides she's not going to just take what fate throws at her. Shows you how powerful individual action can be. Maybe we can change the narrative.
Okay, but what about freedom itself? In the movie, Skynet's in total control, and people are fighting back, right?
Think about when the movie came out. The 80s, tech was booming, so it's like a warning, right? Too much reliance on machines, and we lose our independence.
And Sarah Connor, again, becoming a hero. Like, anyone can stand up to oppression. But it makes you think, how much control are we giving up to technology right now in our world?
Big questions, huh? All from one movie. Pretty amazing.
And it's not just robots and explosions, right?
Yeah.
The movie actually gets into what makes us human, all the messy stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like, you see these characters dealing with fear, with love, even doubting themselves, and the stakes are so high.
Like Kyle Reese, right? Coming from a future where everything's gone wrong, he knows what's going to happen if they fail. But then he falls for Sarah Connor, this woman he barely knows.
That's what gets me. Even with everything going on, they still connect. It shows you, no matter what, we need those human bonds, love and hope. It's powerful.
And Sarah Connor's whole journey, wow. Regular woman to, like, warrior queen, basically.
You can't help but admire her. It's like seeing the human spirit just adapt. She finds the strength she didn't know she had and has to make these choices, not just for herself, but for everyone.
Almost like the movie saying, real strength isn't muscles. It's that will to survive, to fight for what matters, to keep growing even when things are crazy.
That's it, exactly. And then there's this blur between human and machine, The Terminator's this cold machine, but sometimes...
Yeah, you see him hesitate, like maybe making a choice his programming didn't tell him to.
Do you think maybe being around humans so long, seeing how we act, maybe it changes him a little? Even a machine?
That's the question, isn't it? It makes you think, what's the line between us and AI? Could a machine actually understand us, even feel things? Especially now with how fast tech's moving.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the Terminator knew what we'd be worried about. We're making these AIs smarter and smarter. Are we ready for what happens if they catch up to us?
It's unsettling, but that's why the movie still hits hard all these years later.
But hold on, let's talk about how clever the movie is. It's not just action. There are all these symbols, metaphors, deeper stuff.
Always up for some deep analysis. What are we talking about here?
We'll start with the Terminator himself. All metal, glowing eyes, can't stop, can't be bargained with. He's not just a killer. He's like the dark side of tech, Powerful, but it could destroy us too.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like we create these amazing things, but what if they turn on us? Like a warning sign.
Right. And Sarah Connor, her transformation, it's like this metaphor for the whole human race. We get knocked down, but we get back up stronger than before.
Her story shows you that even when things look bad, we can find a way.
And then there's the time travel stuff. It's not just for plot twists. It's saying everything's connected, past, present, future. What we do now matters more than we know.
Like we have a real effect on what happens next, not just fate.
Exactly. And that choice, free will, it all ties back to those big questions we were talking about before. But okay, last one, even the title, The Terminator. It feels final, right? Like an ending. It's saying, be careful, tech can get out of hand, and then, well, it could be the end, not just for people, but for everything that makes us human.
It's heavy stuff, for sure. But there's also this, thread of hope running through the whole thing, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Even though the future Kyle Reese talks about is so dark, and the Terminator's this unstoppable force, it reminds us humans are tough. We fight back, we figure things out.
It's amazing to me how the Terminator came out way back in '84, but it still feels so relevant.
James Cameron really tapped into something, didn't he? All our worries about what tech could do, and now, look where we are.
Back then, computers were just starting to be everywhere. Now we've got AI, everything's connected. It's like science fiction became reality. And we're still asking those questions. What if machines get smarter than us? What if we lose control?
Think about it. All the debates we have now, data privacy, AI making decisions for us. It's like the movie was a warning.
Like, hey, be careful what you build. Are we making tools or are we building our own bosses? It's a scary thought.
But remember, in the movie, the machines don't win. Humans survive, they fight back, protect their future.
That's where you see how strong people can be. Sarah Connor, Kyle Reese, just regular folks stepping up to do the impossible.
Shows you, even when things are bad, we've got that spark. We adapt, we invent, we solve problems, sometimes problems we created ourselves.
And it's not just about being strong or having fancy tech. It's about what makes us, right? Caring for each other, understanding how others feel, that connection.
Those are the things that make us different from machines. That's where our real strength comes from and our creativity, the stuff that keeps us going, even in the darkest times.
So to wrap up this deep dive into the Terminator, I think what we need to remember is the future isn't set. It's what we make it, the choices we make right now. We can learn from the past, build a future where technology helps us, not the other way around.
Right. The movie warns us about what could go wrong, but it also reminds us how powerful we are, the human spirit, all that. That's something worth holding on to, no matter what the future brings.
Until next time, keep watching, keep thinking, and keep that human spark alive.